What is up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. So as you saw right there, pulling the shorty in, finally getting to make another video. It has been a very long time, so I do apologize for that, but life happens. Every other person that does this stuff says that at one point in time and goes for a break, and I've been trying to make videos but just don't have enough content to make a full one. So I'm going to give you guys a rundown on the progress we've made on the shorty here, and then going to show you what we're going to do today, some of the parts we've gotten in, and what is still coming. So we're getting on the home stretch to starting this thing. I would love to have it started by the end of the month, which today is like, I don't know, September, I don't even know, but it's early September. I'd love to have it started by October. It might not look like much, but the trans is in and not just mocked up this time. Whenever I got it up here, me and Brett, we pulled the trans, put the converter in, put the SFI flex plate in, and torqued everything down. It's all good. It's sitting in there. The cross member is not made yet. The factory one can work. I just do not like it. I would rather have something else that's a little bit lighter and just more conducive to pulling the trans, because I'm sure I will have to do it quite a bit. We've got the pump on and torqued and timed. It is skipped one tooth and pulled back away from the head a little bit. It could be pulled back more, but we'll get to that. Nothing's tight as far as on the back side, so I can still adjust timing pretty easily. The front cover is not just bolted up, it is actually on. So we've got our oil pump in there. Thanks to Mr. Austin Deutsch, he got us hooked up with the correct oil pump for it. And yeah, everything's torqued down in there. It's good. Sealed the front cover up and then put our fluid amper on and torqued that down. We also went ahead and put milled rocker pedestals in and torqued those down, ran a valve lash. So everything is pretty well ready. You can see all my plugs here for the injector holes, because that's what we are waiting on currently. We need injectors. They will be coming back. I will go over who did them at a later date, or if you guys are that interested, you can ask me, but that's good to go. Our steed speed has not got re-cerakoted yet. But yeah, that kind of wraps up on what all we have done. We got our fluid amper tack mount right here, so we'll be able to hook up our tack. What else? Oh, we got our filter housing and everything put on, torqued down. We got the right gasket in there. We're all good to go. And we do have some parts. Oh, here's the new wheels. I say new wheels, you guys can tell they are weld sidewinders, so not changing up design or anything like that, but they're 16x8 versus the 16x10 we currently have, which is wider, bubbles the tire a little bit, and I'm hoping that these will tuck up under here a little bit more. It'll look a little bit more race truck, if you will. And then last but not least, of our current parts that have showed up that are new, I have gotten my package from AirDog. AirDog is the lift pump company to go with, in my opinion. Putting them on is very easy, but CJ got us hooked up with everything we needed. So we got our boost compensation kit along with it, because I do want to hook that up since we are limited to the input pressure we can run into the VE. Obviously all of our line, and then our AirDog as well. So we're going to try this out. It's going to be I don't know. If you know Air Dogs, they don't make a 220 for a VE truck, so I'll just leave it at that. You guys can figure it out. But yeah, brought one of our turbos up here and tore it down. Found out the housings were not chewed up, so they will. This is a good core. I just wanted to verify that before I sent it out to the guys. And this is our wiring harness, which is what I'm going to be messing with today. Not super fun stuff, so if you guys already want to jump out of here, I don't blame you. But I'm sure you guys would appreciated the update on what's going on. But I'm going to go ahead and kind of set everything up, wiring harness wise, and just make a list of things that will not be on the truck, because there is a long list of stuff that does not need to be in that harness, and then there's a list of stuff that needs to be added to it. So obviously our battery won't be up here or anything, so we're gonna have to run new cables. We're gonna make a harness for the Air Dog, but everything that's in the back is all gonna be in one harness. So there will be also a fuel sending unit harness in that and everything. I want one nice harness going to the back, and it should look pretty slick. But that's what I'm gonna try and start on today. I just want the harness in here. I'm gonna do my best to see where it routes and then decide if I can tuck it. I have done a couple wiring tucks here recently, so it's tedious, but it's very worth it. So if I can do it, I will. We're gonna end up getting rid of all of what's going on there. I have decided this is more full race truck. I'll be able to drive it on the road, but it will not be. I won't drive it if the conditions aren't nice. If it's too cold, I won't drive it. If it's too hot, I'm not going to drive it. It won't have AC or heat. So that's what the other first gen's for. Now that I have two, I don't feel as bad. But I don't know if you guys have gotten a ride hype photo lately, but there's what that looks like. And yeah, so that's what we're going to work on today. Appreciate you guys stopping back in. I'm going to hop to it. Well, you guys saw me taking bolts loose on the dash, and that's why. So we got the dash pulled out. There's a bunch of stuff in here that I am not going to be using, and that does not need to be in here. It's just added weight that we don't need. The dash will stay. It's gonna You guys can see how vibrant this red is compared to this dark maroon or blood red, whatever you call it, or whatever Dodge called it. But this needs to match that. And I like the intercooled red better than the non-intercooled red. So we're gonna do some working on that here eventually, try and figure out what we can do to make this match, which shouldn't be too terrible. Just gonna involve some interior paint. But all of this wiring that goes to nothing, and the heater core, all the AC stuff, we're gonna go ahead and start unbolting it, ripping it out. I don't want it, don't need it. This truck's not gonna see bad elements of any sort. I don't plan on it being in the rain. I don't plan on it being in the freezing cold, and I don't plan on driving it whenever it's extremely hot out unless it... Alright, well, we got the heater core box all out of there. As you can see, this thing's sitting without a windshield in it. And have to wire wheel the floor and repaint it. Oh well, it doesn't really matter, I guess. But heater core box is all out. I am going to take a good portion of this wiring out and then clean everything and then put the dash back on, or set it on. I'm not going to bolt it all the way in because it still needs to be painted. But we can see, get it out here on the floor, just kind of what all it takes. It doesn't take a whole lot. I'm sure there's a freaking mouse nest in here somewhere, I would bet, because there's always just stuff stuffed in the blower motor. But what I'm going to end up doing is getting all the stuff I'm taking out and putting it on a scale and just see how much weight I'm cutting out of this thing, and then we'll put this thing on the scales and see what it weighs. But this is all in hopes of making it as light as possible. So a few more little odd pieces like the resistor and stuff we got to take out. We'll figure out what we're going to do for a plate right there. There's billet pieces you can buy. I'm sure we can cut them out and make one here. So I'm going to continue with what I'm doing. Like I said, take all the wiring out and then throw the dash back on. Lots of cleaning though. It's pretty dusty back behind here. Okay, I'm going to show you a little update where we're at. I'm going to pile all this stuff up and sit on the bed so I can clean out. I've vacuumed out the floor and stuff just to get all the, I don't know, just the dirt and stuff that fell out of the dash, and the wasp nest too. Those were nice. But it's kind of vacuumed out now. It is pretty bare. All the harness is over here on the floor with that. A lot might be asking, like, why am I just ditching all of it? And well, I really don't need all of it. I can recreate all of it if I wanted to. I'm not going to use hardly any of it. I'll need a fuse box, and then an ignition, and a couple wires for the engine bay, a couple for the lift pump, and then all the wires. If I do an AEM, I'll need the wires for that. And yeah, it ought to be pretty straightforward, honestly. And yeah, I just don't need any of this. So I'm gonna keep pulling off a couple more things, and then probably I need to get some cleaner and wipe stuff down, and then wipe the dash down and set it back on, and then we'll move on to something else, because Lord knows I have too much to do. Alright guys, and what we are left with is a dash shell, just strictly just the shell with the cluster and the other piece of the dash, the inlay, whatever you call it. This will probably not be staying. It'll probably just be an AEM, but that'll be alright for now. Just set in there just for, I don't know, enjoyment purposes. I have been going through some wiring still and realizing it's a lost cause and I don't need any of it. Mocking up, basically deleting our heavy lower water neck. This is very, I don't know, it's bulky. I think it's ugly looking, and it's heavy, and that's, I mean, the name of the game here is weight. So we got the other one bolted up, mocked up, just basically seeing if it will fit for now. And it looks like it will, but we'll see. I'll get that finalized and find out. And obviously I got a lot more work to do. It's getting late. I'm getting pretty hungry. But I'll be back in here working on it tomorrow. But that's essentially where I'm going to wrap this video up. I didn't really know what I was going to do, if it'll focus for this video, because really the 89 is a bunch of boring stuff that you guys probably don't want to watch. Now the blue truck is going to be probably more oriented toward you guys and what you guys enjoy, and more similar to my old truck, but it's more of a fresh start and basically there's nothing done to it. I will give you a quick look. It's looking pretty good. I've been driving it here every now and then. It still needs paint correction. This fender was the only one that got done, and it looked pretty decent, but wheels still need polished. Everything that you recall. I've done some small stuff, but nothing really. Just making sure it was good to drive back and forth to work if I wanted to drive it, because I have my first gen withdrawals just like the rest of you guys. So that's where we're at with that. I'm gonna end up needing bumpers, so I'm gonna get 70 bumpers. If anybody has 70s bumper mounts front and back, I'm pretty sure I can buy the backs or something, but one of them is very hard to get. So if I can get help with those, it'd be much appreciated. Here very, very shortly, we are gonna work on the ride height, different tire height, all that good stuff, and try and get it lower and driving better, because it's a fairly sketchy unit right now. It's between that steering shaft and then everything else we got going on down here. It's not a very good driver, so we'll get back to that at a later date. But with that being said, I appreciate you guys stopping in. Hopefully you're excited to see the first gens again, as I am. But until next time, we will see you later on the Old School Crew. Keep kicking it old school. Peace out.